Hi, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Bud Rebel Show. I'm actually going to be speaking to someone who's very similar to me in many ways, but a little younger, probably better looking. But as you know, on the Bud Rebel Show, we have great business ideas. We have things you can invest in, leadership skills, issues, things I hate, and weird facts, and other things. We'll go into it. Well, I'm going to have a lot of fun. So I want to introduce someone who, again, has a lot of my interest, but in a different area. And I think you'll decide if he's better than me. And his name is Calvin. Calvin, tell the audience what you do and how you get started and all that business.
Hi, hello everyone. Yeah, so I'm in LA right now. I'm a actor, writer, do the modeling, directing, honestly just trying everything that's creative related. It's honestly just started this past year actually. I moved up here in January.
So where'd you
Uh,
move from?
I moved from San Diego, so it's not that big of a
Oh,
trek.
okay. And you mean you just decided to you're going to throw this all out. You're going to just decide to go all in all different direction. Any artistic endeavor, not in other words, you don't pull you out.
Yeah, it started as I was originally doing structural engineering down in San Diego, and then I just kind of got into it. I started doing acting on the weekends and at night, and then I started writing short films for me and my friends, and it just kept like spiraling upward. And then I was like, I should just, write a whole book or something at that point.
And I mean, now you're also doing brand ambassador stuff. You're also that as well. What are you a
Yeah,
brand
yeah.
ambassador of?
Sorry, what was it?
What are you a brand ambassador of? What product?
Yeah, it kind of depends. It's usually for like big event parties. Like it could be for like a product pop-up thing or like you know, just various industries if they want to like promote something, then they call us in. We do a little like check-in, take pictures with people, get them hyped about whatever the product is. Stuff like that usually.
So you come out and did you start first as a writer? Did you start first as an actor? Which area did you start initially in?
I think I started with acting. Well, if I could go like way back, then yeah, writing. Maybe I was like early teenager. You had the ideas, you try and write the books, but then it never really make it past chapter one.
Yeah,
And
writing
then
books is very hard. I find writing scripts actually a lot easier than writing books for some reason.
yeah, the only thing that really made me want to write a book though is that I was always, I was like, I gotta budget all these films that I'm writing or short films. I'm like, I gotta figure out locations that would make sense, like logistically. And I was like, if I write a book, then I can just like, the only constraint is your imagination. You can spend as much money as you want.
How many shorts have you done actually out there?
I've probably done like directed and written like three, and then I've helped others with like four or five, I think.
So the three that you have right now, what's the length of these shorts?
Yeah, they're all about like 7 minutes, 7 to 12.
And where are they located? On YouTube?
Yeah,
What?
they're on I'll have to find them. I think they're on my Instagram, but a lot of them are like those like 48-hour film festivals.
But you
Have you
don't
heard
make
about
any,
those?
you don't make money on this. It's just more of an artistic achievement, right? There's no way to actually make money on doing these type of on these
No,
projects.
I just find it fun. I feel like when
Yeah.
you get to do something creative, it's like you're in the good old days, but they're still happening in that moment.
It's great to be able to get what you see as a vision in your head out there and see so the world can see what you have and you can always play it back and enjoy it. It's a cool little thing. Are they a horror? Are they comedy? Are they what type of a genre are they?
They all vary. One of them's a horror. That one was, oh my gosh, that was so fun. My friend works at this warehouse and he let us film there. And it was pretty much just me, as this like serial killer, and no one knew where I
Oh, very
was at the
nice.
time. So it was really genuine fear that people had because I would just be coming out of like the shadows. But that one's horror, and then I have like a kind of road trip uh comedy, and then just like a school comedy.
I guess like anything in the world, the cost depends on how much you put into it in terms of if you had a big name or you had big cinematographer work. I mean, what kind of cost do the what's the most expensive one and what's the least expensive, would you say that you had produced these projects
Oh,
on the
for
show?
film.
Yeah.
Um, Definitely think the most expensive ones are just ones that I've kind of jumped on as like actor or
That's not
like
then you have to worry about it. Then you'll get paid.
yeah,
Paid as
then
an
it's
actor,
not my
right?
money.
Yeah, that's
But
right. You get paid as an actor for that, or you sometimes you just do it for friends?
Um, Sometimes here or there. Sometimes I get paid. Sometimes I just do it because it sounds really interesting.
Right, right.
But
And the more you get out, the more it builds your resume, you might say, and people see you and then want
yeah,
other things as well. You also said you do modeling too.
yeah,
That
yeah.
you get
It's
paid for.
not that much. You'd be
Really?
surprised.
And like
Yep.
modeling is a lot of sitting around all day long, I think, and then you just got to smile all the time when you really model. Sometimes you don't feel like smiling, right? You, you sound
Yeah,
like
it's interesting though. I never really knew. Like I kind of just got into that recently too, and I always thought it was like you just smile and you look at the camera, but so many times people have been telling me they're like you need to look at the camera like you're talking to someone you love, and you just have the conversation in your head, or if it's someone, or if you need to show like anger or something, you find someone in your life that like brings out that energy in you, and you it's weird. It like changes all the muscles in your face.
yeah, I guess it's just being acting. It's just acting for an instant, in other words, versus
Yeah.
the whole thing. You just that's the difference in modeling and the acting part about it as a whole, you know. Well, I was going to discuss with you some crazy business ideas. Are you ready to hear some business ideas?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, here we go. All right. So, matter of fact, let's take a commercial break and we're going to come up with some really unique business ideas that maybe you can make some money on. Okay, we're back. And one of the ideas that I think is sort of cool is I have a couple dogs and I thought about a water bowl cleaner to clean the
Uh,
dog's bowls. You
yeah.
know? I mean, yeah. I
Hmm.
mean, how are you supposed to clean the dog's bowls? You know? I don't know if you have dogs. Do you have dogs?
I have one dog. Yeah, I got a little Shiba Inu.
So what like it's like you want to clean it with water, yeah, but it's is it really cleaning it? And you don't want to use like something that's too toxic. So
Yeah.
water ball cleaner would be just perfect for your dog. And maybe, just maybe would add like a little bit, healthy benefit. Maybe there'll be like minty flavor or something like that to make the breath a little better. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
funny because we are actually, and which will be in a few about a month to my brand master, we're coming out with our own little dog biscuit. That's going to be the Bud Rubble biscuit. So maybe they'll make the water bowl cleaner as well. And then I have another business idea. I'll give you two of them today.
Yeah.
It's called, therapists try to bring you together. But one of the
Hmm.
most difficult things that people have to go with is breaking up. And it's hard for people to get through that, either
Hmm.
through knowing to do it or how to get the whole process going. There should be like a breakup counselor.
Yeah, I feel like like that'd be fun to have someone record. It'd be great reality TV right there.
Yeah, and I just think that like people have a difficult time, especially people with conflict aversion or people that even if they break up, they want to meet people, how to deal with how do they get back to normal with this whole thing? How to relationships, how to, things like that. I don't know if you're in a relationship now. I don't know if you ever broke up with somebody and it was very difficult. Did you have anything like that growing up yourself or?
Definitely not in a relationship now. I'd say no, I don't think I've had bad breakups. They've been kind of mutual, or at least I thought they were mutual. uh, but
But
no, I've definitely had friends that are just like the breakups are so horrendous, and you think like I'm friends with usually both the people, and then they each tell me like I want to know why, or I want to get closure, but I don't really want to talk to them alone. And I was like, well, I don't want to be there. I don't want to be your moderator. That sounds
it's
awful.
funny you
So
say that.
that sounds like a great idea. Put them in front of a counselor.
It's very funny you said that because when I was dating this young lady and I thought everything went well and I didn't know what happened. I had my friend call and I was on the other line.
Uh,
She didn't know that. So he asked her, he's like, oh, why and she said, because I'm
Too helpful.
too helpful. She wants to do things, I guess, independently. And I was just someone who wanted to help too much. It was like one date or something. That's like, it's interesting because that's one of my things that I like to help people out of it. So I guess some
Mhm.
people don't like it.
Yeah, I guess not. So
Can't
I've
make
never
everybody
heard.
happy. Can't
That
make
is the
everybody
first.
happy. Another
Mhm.
thing like we also do on the show is investments, ideas how
Mhm.
to make money. In today's time, so it's a little tricky. And one thing
Yeah.
I do, I like to invest in things that are fun, that I like. And what I do is I invest in movie merchandise that's
Okay.
related to food. So recently I got a Mountain Dew drink that was based on one of the movies out there, and I saved them. I don't know. I figure that someday they could be worth something. If there's any movie nostalgia stuff, I save any of the food that has like this packages that have it, thinking that's one of a kind, and everyone's either going to eat it and throw it out. I like all the big movie stuff.
Yeah. No, that's good. I mean, have you been collecting those like popcorn buckets that's been out lately?
You know, that's a great point. That's right. I know that the movie theaters making popcorn buckets. That a thing. Have you gone to a lot of movies yourself?
Oh,
Do you go to a lot of movies?
I go to so many movies.
I mean, are people going to the movies in California? Because movies sort of died after COVID, and I don't know if they ever came back to some degree.
It's kind of a well, at least in LA, yeah. I feel like everyone's trying to like go inside away from the heat right now. They want to go inside and watch movies. But a lot of people go to like these like pop-up cinemas. Like there's like the rooftop cinema clubs where people can go on like the top of a hotel and watch on like a projector on the wall. Or there's like the new
And those, so they do that. They do that for new movies or old, what's that? It's a new type of thing they do in movies. And that's interesting. They do that
they're
for like,
usually old movies, yeah. They're
oh, they
usually
come.
like cult classics or just like things that like rom-coms that haven't been from the 90s. It's like usually on theme, you know. If it's like October, they're gonna play like Scream and Freddy Krueger and all that. But
Wow.
it's great, yeah. I
Yeah, that's
love it.
interesting. I mean, I just think that I went to the movies and I just saw the movie. See No Evil. I know.
Oh,
Speak No
Speak No
Evil.
Evil.
Yeah, have you
Is
seen
that
it?
good? I wanted to see that this week.
Speak No Evil is a very interesting movie. I think the character developments are so cool. They're such
Mhm.
interesting characters, and it's how they develop, how they move, and how they grow. And it's really interesting. Even the good guys are a little messed up, and everybody is a little effed up in the movie. So it's really fun. It's a good journey. I think it goes the end the way all these quote horror movies go without ruining it too much. But if you yeah, so it's predictable. But even then, there's a little bit of a difference. So I really did enjoy it. I thought it was I decided my friend told me about that. So I saw that. I saw Reagan. I saw that movie, which was if you like Reagan, you like Reagan, the movie. If you don't like Reagan, you're probably not gonna like the movie. If you're in between, it's in between. I liked Reagan. It wasn't the greatest movie I've ever seen, but it was okay.
Yeah.
They gave it so white. The ratings were so bad. It was one of the weirdest things about the movie is
Mhm.
the critics gave it like 20% approval, and the fans gave it like 90%. I
Oh,
mean,
that doesn't
such
happen.
divergence.
Yeah.
And I did really well. So I don't know why they didn't like it because it wasn't a terrible movie. So they should have given it a 20%. If they gave it like
Mhm.
a 50, 60%, I could understand it. But the critics, I think there was a little biased politically in that
Yeah.
in
20% has a
California.
bit of like anger behind it.
Yeah, I don't think some people didn't want you to like Reagan, so they didn't want you to see the film, I guess. You know,
Mhm.
it's unbelievable because it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't the most brilliant movie. I mean, it was fine. I mean, some of the movies they say are so brilliant to me can be so boring too. And I think the most important thing is being entertained when you go to the movies. That's the number one thing. You want a good escape. That's fun to be there. So yeah, I'd say Speak No Evil got that entertainment. You know.
Okay, I'll have to check it out. I've been trying to see every horror movie that's been coming out, but now we're in October. I just got hit with like seven at once.
You know what also is interesting? Penguin on
Oh, I
HBO
haven't
Max.
started that yet. I keep seeing that though because I keep opening Max and I'm like I'm trying to catch up on all the Emmy shows that just won, so I'm making my way
Yeah,
through those.
I no, because what was interesting with Penguin is it's just a different character. It's a mafia type thing. It's not like the Penguin
Yeah.
that I knew that was always in the cold. He's more of
Mhm.
totally different. I don't know how they wrote this one up. It's totally a different character and different direction that you expect the Penguin to go in. And
Mhm.
it's funny a little bit. So it's like, it has a little bit of that. What's that series on that won the big movie TV show with the Sopranos? Has a little Sopranos feel to it. Just a
Okay,
little.
that's what I was thinking. I was like, it definitely felt like yeah, like a Sopranos or yeah, just something along that line,
Little
like
Sopranos with a little
Goodfellas.
supernatural thing. Some of the things are a little stupid, but it's fun. Just a fun little journey. It's only episode one, so I don't know what the next journey will
Oh,
be.
is it? Okay, I'll wait
You got
then.
plenty
I'll
of
wait.
time to catch up.
I'm a binge watcher, so
So are you from California originally?
yeah, I'm from San Diego. So
Oh,
I
the whole
lived
time.
here, went to school here, um, and then I just left at like this last year.
So this is the first year in this whole the whole film, acting, all that stuff like that. And I mean, making a living. Are you making a living on this stuff? You do have to do side jobs for this? How does that go in terms of your
Yeah, it's been going good. I do a lot of I feel like I do the acting stuff that I want to do for free, and then I do a lot of background acting, so I get to do like all the like extra stuff for a lot of shows, and
well,
that pays.
extras actually pay pretty well. Are you a union extra then, I guess? Is that what it is?
No, I'm SAG eligible, so I just sit along like the middle line where it's like you can join, but like I'm not ready yet.
They pay
Uh,
you a lot more money when you're SAG, right? But you don't get as many jobs. Is that the difference when is that the thing?
yeah, and you have to pay to join, so it's like you gotta. drop the money to get the money. And
So
I
you've
was like, I
been
don't.
you've
Sorry.
been you've been in a few movies that are you've been an extra for that are movies or TV shows and stuff.
Mainly TV shows, and then one movie I think that's gonna come out soon. But yeah, mainly TV shows, mainly like ABC shows. But it's cool. I love seeing like you're there like 14 hours, and I just get to talk to people all day, and they
14,
can't get
wow.
away from me.
14 hours you stay there, right? And that's 14 hours. And you're like in a second of the scene, I guess, right? Is that what it is? It's like
Yeah,
how much they
it's
put in.
crazy. It's crazy. It's when you like. I feel like it like shattered the illusion. Now when I watch a show, I can count every single like angle that they shoot. And I was like, that's an hour. That's another hour. That's like 4 hours. And it's just so like I can't even imagine. I haven't done like an action scene yet, but I can't even imagine how long those take.
You know, it's funny you say that because I watched, you watch these commercials and you turn the channel so quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 3 days or 4 days work sometimes these commercials are. You're just like, I don't want to watch it. And you're just like they put so much effort into this thing. And even the movies, you give it like 30 seconds, you're like, I'm done, you know? And the
Hmm.
movies cost so much time and so much effort. It's like, I don't know, we so spoiled or something. It's weird, you know?
Yeah. There's just so much things. There's so many things all the time.
Yeah, you have so many ways to watch, so many different things, so many different series. There's a lot out there. So with the election coming up, we also about leadership and what it means to be a good leader nowadays. And I think that one of the keys is to a person that's good to deal with crisis. When a crisis personally or when crisis with the country comes about, they have to be somebody who's down pat, knows how to deal with crisis situations. And I think that's really important. What do you think?
Yeah. I definitely think someone needs to be level-headed. They need to like have an idea and not be wishy-washy about it. Just full. I feel like I'd rather have someone that like has something and they want to continue on that path that they said they were going to do than like flip and then flip and then you're like I can't keep up. You're getting
Yeah, it's getting
whiplash.
confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes you need a strong leader. And you need a leader that just, like I mean, look, Trump got shot at, and he just got up like, wow, I'm gonna still run. He's like, it was amazing that response. You never know how you'd respond. I mean, I don't know how I would respond if someone
Mhm.
shot at me, but
Yeah.
that's an example where somebody has that leadership to get up there and do something where other people wouldn't. I also wanted to mention some of the issues that are coming up.
Mhm.
And one of the issues that I'm always very concerned about, I don't know how you feel about mental health. It's one of those very difficult issues. And the sad thing about it is a lot of people go to these places, hospitals, institutions, and they come back home to their family. Their
Mhm.
family may have no knowledge about the person's, well-being, what they've been diagnosed, and their treatment plan, because all that patient has to do is say, I don't want to know that information. So what
Yeah.
happens is it's a repeat cycle.
Mhm.
The person will go back because they don't want to either take the medicine, they don't want to go to the treatment. The family can't help them. So they can come back and they can be violent to the family, be violent to themselves. They can go on the street. But it seems ridiculous. To me, it seems like if you're going to go back to the residence that you were at, those
Mhm.
residents should know what your condition is, what the doctors are giving you, and they should know that. And I don't know why that doesn't occur.
I assume you mean like 18 and over, right? So I think under 18 you have to tell them.
Yeah,
But
18
yeah, I
over,
see
yeah.
what you mean. Yeah, it's like a bit of a conflict of interest because you don't know what you're really trying to help someone with, but then you also don't want to be invading their personal,
But if you got a
privacy.
parent or you got a couple, you got whatever, you can't
Mhm.
help them. And so they keep going down that pattern. And the thing is, it doesn't get better. And that's why we have the crisis of criminal crime and drugs and violence. I just think that we're not dealing with mental health because the only ones that can really help you at all is your loved ones. And they might be part of the problem too. Don't get me wrong, they could have the issues
Yeah.
themselves. But even knowing what's going on, maybe they have to go to the therapist meeting with
Hmm.
the patient. Maybe they have to go together. But the idea is that you're keeping that a secret. You're not helping them get better because first of all, people have mental health issues. It's very hard to accept it. People are very
Yeah.
much in denial a lot. That's one of the biggest problems. For some reason, it's very weird. If I all of a sudden I had to urinate a lot, I was thirsty a lot. I went to the doctor and they said I had diabetes. Like, oh, it sucks, but I have diabetes. But if I
Hmm.
can't get out of bed and I'm angry all the time, and the doctor says I have bipolar, I'm like, F you, doctor. I don't understand, just because in your mind you don't want to accept it and your body you accept it. I don't understand why we have this feeling that we can't accept that type of condition. You know, it's weird to me.
Yeah, I definitely think it's weird because you like people will see a physical ailment and they're saying I have to take a pill to fix this, but then if they have a mental ailment of like their um like the different synapses and all that are not working how they should, then they don't want to take a pill to fix that because it feels like it's gonna change them. But it's very
Yeah,
yeah, it's hard to like.
I don't get that whole thing. So, now tell me what your average day is like. How you, and I mean, it must change a lot depending on what things happen, but in general, would you get up a certain time every day to do some, schedule? Like, what is your average?
Yeah, it really depends day by day. A lot of days I like when I get called to set like on 5 a.m. or something. I think that's ideal because then I get out in there all day. We get breakfast there. We watch the sun come up. We keep going, and then we usually get out around like 5 p.m. and I'll run to the gym so I don't have to go in traffic. And then if there's still traffic, I'll run over to the movies, go watch a movie. By the time it's done, the traffic's completely gone. Make my way home, make some dinner, and then I'll maybe like do an audition that night or like work a little bit on like a script or a book, and then I'll just binge some TV until I fall asleep while it's on.
So, when you're writing these scripts, are they based on characters that you know in your life and things that have happened?
A lot of the scripts I write are horror. I just I like writing like a good psychological thriller. I don't usually base them on people because I feel like when I write characters, I just take pieces of me and I put them in each one. Like I might put like what I like
You have a
all
violent
my
side to you.
what?
Said you have a violent side. I can't get on your bad side.
Yeah. I like to I feel like this person is gonna embody just like my entire id, and this person's gonna be my super ego and just gonna be like what I want to be, what I am, or etc. And I think it makes the characters really fun. It makes them really like crazy and energetic and
How long does it take you to write a page or so? Do you have how long does the longest you write, one
it
manuscript?
it depends, yeah. If it's a like for writing this book, I could write like sometimes I would just write like 2 chapters a night, and then other times I could only write like a page. Kind of depends if the creativity just like hits in that moment and you feel like everything just starts aligning in your head. Um, for scripts, I think I can usually do like a first pass in like a day of like a 10-page script,
Wow, one
and then
day.
yeah, and then I spend the next like 3 weeks ripping apart every single word.
Now you're saying writing a book. You wrote a book on, you're writing a book now, you written other books, or
Yeah, I'm actually releasing a book, my first book, in 3 weeks.
oh cool.
So
And
I
what
actually have it here. It's
oh very
my
cool. Okay, house
yeah.
rules. Oh, that's
So it's
cool.
called The House
Wow.
Rules.
Oh, cool. It's coming out in 3 weeks. It's your
Yeah, it's
first
coming out
book?
October 15th.
And you have I guess you have it published already.
I did self-publishing actually. I made my own publishing company. I made did all the marketing, started branding it, and I've just been promoting it on various platforms.
What's the story about?
Yeah, so the story is about well, first off, it's like a gothic horror Great Gatsby mixed with like the Maze Runner.
Wow. So a
So
lot
that's
of
the idea of it. It's a gothic horror thriller, young adult, and it's about this boarding school boy who gets his parents are like estranged. They haven't talked to him in 8 years. They just randomly sent him off one day to boarding school, and he doesn't know why. And then, as on the day that he's graduating, he gets a mysterious envelope inviting him back home for the summer before college. And he thinks it's going to be a normal, like genuine reunion, but he has no idea what's in store for him. And as he gets there, he has to face off against this rich society and their annual traditions that he becomes a part of. And it's kind of just this idea of like you have these things set up for you, like you have these like goals that you're supposed to be doing, and you're trying to fight this path that you're set on, and you're trying to make your own life and your own person.
did you have to battle that yourself a little bit in your own way?
I wrote about Yeah, in some ways, yeah. I was the main character is very like anxious and he wants other people to like him. And the whole book, I wanted it to be about him finding confidence in himself and doing everything because he wanted it, not because he expected other people to do it
So
or
is
for
it,
him to do it.
so I'm saying in your own life, did you have to battle this idea of like, being yourself versus what people thought you were going to be? And was that something
Yeah,
you go through? Like, can you tell us some more about that?
yeah, I definitely, well, like I said, I did structural engineering. I actually was working at my parents' firm. So it was like a little family thing. And I was like, oh, I'm going to be in this because they did this. And it was this path that was set out for me. And I was writing this book while at night while I was working there during the day last year. And I was thinking, I want to do like creative things. I want to do acting. I want to do writing. And when I was writing this book, it was almost like I was writing like
Listen.
my own like way out. I was like, if I write this book, I put the feelings that I feel into it, then I like if I can make this character do it, why can't I do it? And so I decided to move up to LA.
Now, when that happened, was there a lot of like, what are you doing? You have a nice business. Did you get a lot of feedback from your family? Did you like, what do
Yeah.
you got a lot of angst from them and stuff like that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure any parent would be anxious if their kid was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to LA and try and do acting instead of this like stable job that I have. But I kind of did like a slow burn of like I started the engineering and I was doing acting at night on the weekends. And so by the time I left, they were like, okay, we kind of saw it coming at this point, but still like we're nervous and please like, you know,
But
make smart
at
choices
this
out there.
point, they're supportive of what you've done as a whole, getting through this, doing this
Yeah,
act.
they've been really supportive in this past year. They've been just
Has it been difficult getting started with the acting and getting all these auditions and stuff? Is it hard if I tomorrow I want to go to California and all of a sudden I want to be an actor there? How do you go about you just look at papers? How do you find these roles and stuff like that? How do
yeah, so there's a lot of I feel like the best thing to do starting out is there's these apps on your phone that are all like, just little subscription apps you pay like a couple bucks a month and you get to see all these different auditions that you can apply for. They're all like non-union. They're just like student films or like low budget short films. And you just apply to them and you just try and get your name out there and get experience. And for me, that's what I did the past couple of years. I was just trying to, you know, try things and see what I actually liked, if I actually wanted to do this. And then when I actually moved up to LA, I was like, I'm just gonna do background acting so that if I ever get in like a situation where I'm actually on a show with one of these famous people, I'm not gonna freak out when I see them for the first time because I've been seeing them like from the corner of the room for a while. And that really has been helping just like calm myself in this whole like big change that I've done.
So this book that you've written, you
Yeah.
said you self-published it and you're marketing it. There's so
Mhm.
many books out there. How is anybody going to know Calvin's book out there? How do you get attention in that world with so much?
Well, that is something I'm working on. I honestly have just been trying to spread it through word of mouth and hoping and just posting. I made like a little author Instagram for it. And I've just been posting on there every day, trying to get traction, people to like it, and been giving it to reviewers to kind of spread it more to their fan bases. It's just a lot of word of mouth and
And if
hoping that
you can get this on your Amazon Kindle and stuff like that, this book is it?
yeah, yeah, it's gonna be on Amazon. They have like their KDB Unlimited, which is like you pay monthly, you get your free books. So I put it
Right.
on there.
Oh,
So hoping,
how does that work? You get enough people get it through there, they give you money back, or they automatic? How do you make money when they do that on Amazon?
yeah, you get paid per page that's read. So it's like
Really?
every page that's read, you get like I don't know, like a percent of a penny.
Oh.
So if you get like if someone to read your whole book, I think you get like $1. But if everyone's reading your book for free on
Oh,
their end,
wait, so if a million people read your book, you can get $1 million?
you probably get
Theoretically?
like 10,000 probably.
Oh, it's not bad. And
Not
yeah,
bad though.
no, it's not
But then
bad.
I also have it just as like I said, like got it as the paperback version, and then
Do
I
you
have like
get the where are you selling it? Do you have that in stores, the paperback version, or?
Right now, it's gonna be on Amazon first,
A
and then
nice
I'm gonna try
cover,
and.
by the way. It's a nice cover. It gets your attention. The colors.
Oh, thank you.
You
Yeah,
did the
it's
whole, you did
for.
the marketing scheme for the colors, and did you do that, or did someone else do that for you?
No, I can't take credit. It was actually I found a cover illustrator called, his name is Christian Storm. And so he made this for me. He's made a, I picked him because I've seen a lot of books that he did. He did
Yeah.
the, like the Paper Towns book and like the,
It's a crazy thing. It's sort of like when you watch these. It's funny when people pick candidates to vote for. They like the
Mhm,
sign. If your sign is
mhm.
nice than another sign, they vote for the person. You know, it's
Yeah.
the greatest thing. And if there's more signs, and they, oh well, I want to be with the more people, I'm voting for this person. It's like the cover. The cover really makes a difference. Your book could be the most phenomenal book in the world, but if you have like boring cover, they're probably gonna pass it by. You know, so
Definitely.
hopefully your book is great and it has a great cover. So that'd be very nice to do. All right, well, we're gonna do something. We do something called what I hate.
Okay.
What I hate. What I hate today. I hate a person when a person can't apologize.
Mhm.
You gotta deal with those type of people where it's so hard for them to say, I was wrong. I'm sorry. Have you dealt with anybody like that in your life?
Oh my God. A lot of people. So
You know,
many people.
it seems so easy to do. Like, okay, let's move on. But some people just have the ability. By the way, we also like to talk about other podcasts, and I've been listening to a podcast called Paradoxica. I don't even pronouncing it. Very, very intellectually challenging.
Okay.
And what it has about it, it's very different. It's with time travel, but it's like almost like math and science involved in, and it's
Huh.
very complex. So when I'm trying to drive to work and I don't want to fall asleep, I try to listen to the show Paradoxa, and they have a lot of episodes. I don't know how they make money on that either, but people love being creative, so it's really cool. Some weird facts for you today. Are you ready?
Yes. I'm ready.
Sulphur Springs is the only drive-in volcano. You can drive through this volcano in Sulphur Springs.
Hmm. Did not
How
know
you like
that.
that? Bees have 5 eyes.
No, do they really?
Yeah. I don't know what they do with them, but you ever try to catch a bee?
No, but I'm trying to figure out where the fifth one is.
Yeah, I know. I think one's on top of their head. It's really crazy. It's really strange. Um, there's also this whole P. Diddy thing.
Mhm,
It's so bizarre to me. I was talking about this with people. I'm like, he's got everything. He's a big superstar, a lot of
mhm.
money. Any woman he could ever wanted, pretty much, he probably can get them, mostly. Um, he's got all the fame. And you just wonder why. Why, if again, everyone's
Yeah.
innocent, proven guilty, but it's just weird how they get to that level where they have to do these evil, bizarre things when everything else seems okay.
Yeah. I feel like you never really know like the person behind the camera, Like the people present themselves in a certain way, they have their marketing team, they show up, they do these things, and you never actually know who they are behind all that, you know? Like they've like curated this person to show to the public.
Yeah, I mean, you find a lot of some of these big actors and actresses, they have some weird hobbies on the side. I think also when things get too easy for some people, they almost want some type of challenge in their life that's just
Mhm. They
bad, I
get
guess.
bored.
Yeah, and I think that they want to experiment. That's where the drugs come in, I think, a little bit. I think that what happens is, I don't
Mhm.
know how, I guess LA is very famous for that the whole drug scene, I guess, when people have to get ready, get excited, and get all enthusiastic. And the drugs, oh, get a little this, take a little of this. And
Mhm.
that's, they got to get themselves motivated. I don't know if you see a lot of that happening in the scene down there, and well, it's been getting better in California, I don't, LA.
I think they're working on it, but there's a long way to go.
Yeah, and I
Especially,
and, the, and it's interesting because the whole Me Too movement, and yet I'm sure a lot of as a director, there's probably some people that flaunt themselves to get a part. I don't know how far it goes. I don't know where it ends, but let's face it, sex sells both ways. So I don't know whether people get that, how that changes in the whole industry. I know they're trying to quote open that up, which is great. I mean, after the horrible thing that director did, what was it?
Mhm.
Weinstein. Yeah.
Mhm.
After that, I mean, they try to open it up, but I'm sure that's still going on down, especially when these bigger movies, the bigger stars, things like that. It's a tough thing because people do a lot to be famous, a lot
Yeah.
to try to get their name out there. I mean, that's my question for you is, where do you draw your line? Do you draw your line like, do you have certain values? You say, I'm not going to cross this no matter what. There's certain things I'm not going.
Yeah. I feel I feel lucky that you know, I started as like engineering and then I moved to this. So I'm not like I can always go back. I don't have this like fear that I'm like I moved here and this is it. Like this is my last shot. Like I have to make things happen. Like I feel like I have liberties to be like, no, that's outside my that doesn't sit right with me. I don't want to do that, or this feels wrong. I'm gonna not like do this music video or this whatever. And so I feel like a lot of people, they're just like, oh, this is my shot. I have to do it. I have to go. So they do this thing that they maybe don't want to do. And then it kind of starts spiraling. And so it's a lot of like, you just want to get to the top, but you do, but like the way up there, you don't know what's going to happen on the way there.
Yeah, and then if you to go once you get there, how do you keep it? Do you have to go more
Mhm.
extreme? Do you have to do more things to be more famous, to do this, to that?
Yeah.
That bad person quote image, it sells better than the quote the good image sometimes. So I think a
Mhm.
lot of people do that just to keep quote relevant, you might even say. I wonder half the marriages you see in Hollywood, half of them I think are about, they want to get their press package out there a little bit. And,
Yeah.
they want to keep going that way as well. So 5 years from now, what would you say is success for you?
Um, Honestly, I feel like if you asked me a year ago, I would say something different. But right now, I honestly want to like, I want to dive more into these book writings. I want to do like at least, kind of want to try and do at least one a year, get to that point, and then I want to try and do something acting wise. I just want to. I don't care if I am acting. I just like being a part of the set. So if I get to be there, that's already a win for me. Ideally, yes, I would like to be like saying words, doing stuff on the screen, but I'm just really enjoying where I'm at right now, and
You're
I'm
enjoying the
excited.
journey, as the saying goes.
Yeah, I feel like I really right now I'm just happy with everything that's
I
going
think
on.
a lot of people say, I think a lot of people say that sometimes it's not even the final product.
Mhm.
It's doing it and getting it done. And then when it's final, it's like, okay, I did it. Now I got to do something else.
Yeah,
It's like you can't just, as a creative person, it's hard just to sit and say, yep, I'm done. Okay. No, there's something else that's burning inside you that needs to be done next.
yeah,
Right?
that's definitely me. I'm definitely
Yeah.
someone that does like I get obsessed about something for like a couple months and then I move on to something else.
So people want to know more about you, what you've done, stuff like that. How can they find out about it?
Yeah, so they can follow me on Instagram. It's at CB Naragi or the author
Would you
Instagram.
say you want to spell that out a little bit?
Yeah. It's CBNARAGHI. So that's on Instagram. And then the author one is Calvin Naraghi. So it's CALVINNARAGHI.
Okay.
And yeah, and then I have a website with the that
We'll,
same
we'll
name.
work on that too. Okay. And so if someone wants you to be an actor, they want you to write a script for you. You write scripts for people as well. If they need help with
Yeah,
directing.
right. Like if they want me to like write some scenes for them to do, yeah, we do that.
And if you need a new model or they need some new brand ambassador stuff and so forth, that'd be great. Okay, great. I usually like to conclude on a different note. I wrote this actually as a podcast. I wrote this on my blog. I started out.
Mhm.
And it's an interesting take on the three little pigs, you might say. So, in the three little pigs, you have your straw, if I'm right, you have your bricks, and you have what's the other thing? Straw, bricks, and oh my gosh, wood. No, I think it's sticks. Straw, bricks, and sticks. I think it was something like that. That's right. Okay. So, in life, yeah, you deal with some people and it's difficult. There's sometimes very difficult people, and you have to first when it comes to the straw, you have to just somehow, the basic part of it is it's hard. You got to build a boundary. So you try to build this boundary out of straw, but it falls down. And
Mhm.
then you make it out of sticks and it falls down. Well, you know what? Even the bricks don't always work. You might have to do platen, but you have to separate yourself from these people that might be very negative influence on you. And I'm not saying that you throw them out or what. I'm just saying you have to separate their emotions that they don't affect your life so that you don't get brought down by other negative influence in your life. So build it slowly. Sometimes come out with a little, you got to go through the whole thing, but eventually you'll find your platinum and you'll be a stronger person. So I want to make sure everyone knows that. I also want to thank you so much, Calvin, for coming on. I wish you all the best on your continued career. We look forward to seeing that book. I'm gonna just grab it. When's it gonna be on Amazon, by the way? Is it
It's gonna be out on October 15th.
October 15th? I'll be looking for it. That looks
Great.
like exciting. Thank you so much. God bless and keep well.
Thank you so much for having me. It was
Have a great
great.
one. Thank you.
Bye.